All right, so Daniel Brown, I'm running for mayor of Topeka. My goal is to make community first. I want to bring up the parts of the neighborhoods that don't get the spotlight, but at the same time, without overlooking what we're doing great already. We're doing great on Wanamaker, we're doing great on Urish, we're doing great on Fairlawn, we're doing good on Gage, we're doing good on downtown Topeka. Like, let's keep doing that, but let's do other things as well.
Do you believe increasing access to affordable housing for families making less than $40,000 a year should be part of the city's approach to economic development?
Absolutely. That's one of the key points that the city really needs to do when they start talking about housing, because if you just take the economic development and you bring in all of the big fishes, all of the big money, all of the big corporate players, if you will, you really forget about the communities that are hardest hit by economic turndowns, and those are the East Topekas. Those are the Central Topekas. If you pull up the map and you look at it, the same people that are in poverty level are the same people that are disabled, are the same people that are in a low income. So we as a government, as civilization, really need to take care of those people first, because that's how we get better. Not by putting money and hoping someone else comes here.
How would you work to rebuild trust between members of the public and members of law enforcement in our community?
Well, that's a tough question, because the actual answer to that is that law enforcement go out every single day doing their jobs to protect you and protect me, and we don't trust them because we were told that we shouldn't, or we were told that they're bad guys, or we're told that we should ignore them or treat them unfairly. Well, the truth is that we have excellent law enforcement, and they're doing everything that they can possibly do to keep us safe. So it's not what the police department needs to do, it's what we need to do. We as a community, we need to change what our mindset is.
How do you plan on keeping young people in Topeka? How do you plan on keeping people in general in Topeka?
Yeah, that's excellent as well. That was one of the things I was talking with the Optimist Club the other day. They used to have 45,000, and I'm sorry, Clyde, if I get it wrong. They used to have 45,000 people around America, and now they're down to like 1,200 inside the memberships, and it's sort of the same reason. Everyone's moving to something greater, moving to somewhere different, because what they have is never good enough. Well, the problem is not that something's better somewhere else. We have what we need right here. We just need to develop it. We just need to be more of a community. We need to be more of a sense of, this is our city, that we're proud of this city, and let's live here, let's develop here, let's get excited about here, because then the children and the youth, they see that, and then they want to be a part of that when they grow up. And the other people, they're not feared moving out of town because the crime stats are really high that they saw on news at one time, right? And so they're moving to protect their children, and in actuality, it doesn't help them. It doesn't build that generational commitment that we really need. And so I think we're on the right track. This economic uptick that we're going to experience, I think, is going to help that. But everyone needs to be proud of their city and proud of the people around them.
Topeka, and especially where my businesses are located, has a large population of homeless. As a city, we only have one place for those in need to get resources, and in order to get those resources, you must be free of all substances. What do you plan to do to help the people living on the street that are battling addiction and are not able to get help in our county?
That is several-fold. So first off, one of my platforms is helping the mental health issues. And that means homeless, that means drugs, that means gun violence, that means whatever it is. So we need to get the help in the right places. In order to truly help the homeless, we need to first figure out what their issues are and what their problems are, and provide a solution. Because for too long, we've looked at our detention centers and our jails and our prisons as a place to move people out of our sight. And so a lot of these people that are on the drugs and on the alcohol and whatnot, they just prefer to go to jail because it's a place for them to at least feel safe, right? So we need to offer something to them. And but the second part of that is actually the more concerning part, and that's the part where there was a girl who got, and I don't want to say no names, but she got dropped off with one of our members, and she was a trafficked girl. Well, we tried to get her help, but she had drugs in her system. And so because she had drugs in her system, they turned her away. This is actually the people that we need to help. This is not the people that we need to ignore. So I really think that if we as a mayor, as the city council, as the Shawnee County government, if we start shining a light more on these issues and we start addressing these issues individually and then also as a group, I think that's how we start. And you just don't finish. You be better. Always try to be better.
The USDA defines food deserts in urban areas as census tracts where much of the population consists of low-income residents and most people live more than 1 mile from a grocery store. Under this definition, the USDA has determined that much of North, Downtown, and East Topeka are food deserts. How will you work to ensure every Topekan of every income has access to nearby and convenient grocery stores?
All right, first of all, T-hi, hoi hoi. So that's actually what I was talking about a little bit earlier. We've recognized, not because we saw census data, not because some government agency told us to, we know these places exist because we live there. We represent people that are from there. So we know that these problems exist, and we know that there's hungry people out there, and we know that there's people who have to make a choice. Is it electricity or is it water? Is it food or is it shoes? Right? I know kids that go to boxing with us, and they have to wait till their brother comes home because that's the only pair of shoes that they can use to go boxing in. So we realize that, and it is something that I feel strongly for, and as well as we do at Forest Park, and as well as we do it for Stand Up for Life. It's something that we recognize, and we've been trying to shine a spotlight on it for so long. And I think now with you listening, we'll be able to do that.
Another question, like how do they plan to not only prioritize and hear, but amplify the voices of the community to actually know what that community wants?
Man, it's like I wrote these questions for myself. All right, so again, we are the community. We represent the community. We're in the community. So here's my guarantee, and here's my promise. So if I get elected mayor, we're gonna do weekly spotlights with community members, with community activists, with community leaders, and we're gonna be able to bring those in the forefront all the time. It's never going to be where I sit in front of a camera and I tell you what I think. It's going to be like, hey, I've got this person here, and this is what they think. That's how we solve it.
What are your goals to help further student life here at Washburn? What are your goals to help improve the university?
I don't know much about Washburn University itself, but I can only assume that they go through the same issues that everyone else goes through. Do we have enough money to eat? Do we have enough money to take the bus somewhere? Do we have enough money to buy clothes? Do we have enough money to do the things that we need to do or that we want to do? So if we all do better, as I always say, if I come up, we all come up, and what that means is that if one of us does well, all of us are going to do well. We're not going to hand the money off to some guy who owns a business or corporation who doesn't really need the money, but it'd be nice. We're going to reinvest it locally, and we're going to get these small businesses up and going, and we're going to be able to have these restaurants and these bars and these diners, and we're going to have some activities in the parks. And Evergy's doing a great thing down here. We're going to help push that. Right? Give the young people something to do. Give them a good income, because quality of life's important. It's more important. Like, if you have a job, that's great. You have a job, but how's your quality of life? Are you just getting by? Are you struggling? Right, and so that doesn't affect just the students. That also affects older people who have families and have grandparents, and some grandparents that take care of their grandkids. Right, so quality of life is important, and so that's something that I really feel strongly about, and that we need to raise everyone up. My name is Daniel Brown. I'm running for the mayor of the city of Topeka.